5 years ago, I lost my sister in the Dana plane crash. It was one of the nation's greatest tragedy. It was a big loss. It touched so many families and everyone around the country. It was really devastating. I am a person who usually keeps my feelings to myself. I'm not a person who shares my feelings or express how I feel. As a creative artist, I thought I should do something in honor of my sister, Farida. I thought of creating a small video about 10 minutes long just to say a few things about her and talk about a bit of my feelings in it. But then when I reach out to her friends and fam and few acquaintances, it's amazed by a lot of people wanting to be part of it. And it went from 10 minutes to I think almost an hour. And I feel I don't need to cut off anyone's speech, expressions, or whatever they want to say in the video. I just decided to put everything as raw as it is. So I'm going to talk about the moment when the thing happened and how everything went on. On the Sunday, June 3rd, 2012, Farida sent me a message on Blackberry Messenger, and our chat was a bit weird. Our conversation was a bit off, but you never know. It was the last moment. She texted me asking me to tell the tailor to drop the clothes at the house, and she'll give him the transport money and whatnot. And I told her, okay, when it was around 10:30 in the morning. I'm like, okay, when since it's weekend, I'll reach out to him a little bit later and send to him, tell him to drop it off. And I asked her where she was going. She told me she was going to Lagos, and I asked her for what, and she told me training. And that's it. That was our last chat. Who knew? And I carried on my day. So I was in Coventry then. I went to visit a friend for the weekend, and we went out shopping, and I actually took photos of some earrings I bought, and I was going to send it to her in case she wants them, so I could buy it for her, just instead of taking each other's ones, let everyone have theirs. Anyway, so we heard about the plane crash, and may the souls of the departed rest in peace. And in my mind, I was just feeling so bad. I went to the bathroom and I just came out and picked up my phone, and I saw my mom's message that Farida is on the plane that crashed. And I said to myself, that's not possible. Like, how can she enter a plane that will crash? Like, doesn't even make sense. I didn't want to just straight ahead believe that. I called my mom. She was saying the same thing. I called my dad. I called my family friend where she stays at their place, and it was all I'm like, I'm gonna try someone else. So I'm pretty close with a lot of her friends. We're pretty close. So I didn't even know her password. I didn't know how. I just logged into her emails, and I said, okay, since it's office, she's going for work, so possibly there must be an email from work, because even though I know in Nigeria, like, we just buy ticket. There is no like schedule. He just buy it on the spot and travel. No, I called him. I knew she must have spoken to him, so I asked him just to confirm which flight she was in, and he got back to me and he said it was Dana. And then there was a bit of confusion because some people were saying the flight is from Lagos to Abuja, not from Abuja to Lagos. So, and then the manifesto was, the list was incomplete, their names were not there, and I remember when my mom told me, I called her number and it rang the first time, and the second time it was off, and I guess that was when the plane exploded because it was on ground for like 20-30 minutes. So while I was in Coventry, my sisters kept calling me because if there is one person to confirm and be sure it will be me, because I'm more connected to her friends and her office people. So I told them just to keep praying for her. So I took the train back to London to meet my other sibling. I was just crying. I didn't sleep for God knows how long, over 48 hours. And again, when we had to go home to be with the family. When I went to London, I told them, well, she's in the plane. My sisters couldn't pay calls, so... And then I knew someone had to be strong for them. I actually didn't cry. I was crying more internally, not like out with tears. I was the one picking calls and whatnot, and So, and then 2 days after the crash, that was on Tuesday, we had to leave. For Nigeria to see to the family, and it was a bit scary because we had to take an aeroplane, which was the thing that killed her. When the flight, it was taxiing, it stopped that it had to take out some things, so there were some issues, which was a moment that we thought, okay, it's probably our only time to... The plane was supposed to depart at 10 p.m. Then we were in the runway for some hours. You know what they were fixing. We didn't leave Heathrow till like about 1 a.m., which was a bit weird and strange, We landed safely. The plane crashed. Not only that we lost just our sister, there are a lot of family, friends. A friend of mine lost her dad, her stepmom, her sister, and our family friend, they lost their sister to their aunt, and a lot many more family and friends. Then we drove back to Kaduna. There were like so many cars all over from my house, all in the neighborhood. That was when I felt like this was real. I remember when we came, so I saw my dad at the gate, and I've never seen him like that, like really sad. We went inside and we saw our mom, and we all busted into tears. I had a call from Lagos that they needed 2 family members to do DNA test. So my brother was already there. It just made sense I had to go. If it was me in the crash, I know my sister would be there for me. So the next day, still the same week on the crash, like the 5th, that was on Friday, I had to fly to Lagos, which was the worst flight of my entire life. I can't remember the airline I took though. I'm thinking IRS or Cherishing, I can't remember. That was my worst flight. It was, can't even explain the feeling. I met with my elder brother Mukhtar. Thank God the DNA test was prearranged, so when I just went, I did the test. Initially, I was meant to search for her body, but then they were moved to the National Hospital. Later, it was decided I shouldn't go through dead bodies. I don't know how to phrase it. They told me not to go through the bodies because it will be my last memory of her. Because if there is one person that knows her really well that could identify her, would be me. The great thing was we knew her body is found and she's laid to rest, but she's meant to be. Farida is a kind soul. I don't even know what to say about her. She's been there for me all my life. We're more than sisters. We're best friends. Even back when I was in Kuala Lumpur, if I'm going shopping, we shop together. I wait till it's morning in Nigeria. I go to the store. I take pictures. I send it to her, and if she likes it, she sends me money to buy, or I buy it for her. And most of our clothes are the same. It's either they're different sizes or different colors. A tough one for me. I remember the last time I saw her was when I was going to visit my other sister in England. So I was heading to the airport around 5 a.m. Very early in the morning, and we just hugged and said goodbye. I'm trying so hard not to cry, but I'm very emotional. I never knew there'll be a time I'll go to a hospital, and ask for that certificate. So now I'm going to stop here. I'm really grateful for you guys being part of my fam.
Assalamu alaikum. 5 years gone without my dear daughter Farida. Words can't express how much I miss her. She left me at the time I needed her the most. But we can't question what Allah has planned. May her gentle soul continue to rest in peace. May Allah grant her Al-Jannah Firdaus. Till we meet again, my dear daughter.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Farida is my dearest sister who passed away suddenly. I remember speaking to her just before she boarded the plane. We spent a couple of minutes catching up. She was so excited when Habib and Usman said hello to her, as she wasn't expecting it, not knowing that was the last time we got to hear her voice. I remember Farida with the boys staring at her when she was applying her makeup, which is a funny memory, and her beautiful smile. She has very good qualities, which I don't have to say. You hear from her friends and her acquaintances. She's always been a caring, kind-hearted, outgoing lady, and I've known her all my life. We've been there for each other. May her soul continue to rest in perfect peace.
just wanted to say a little about my late sister Farida. Farida is a sweet person. I miss her every blessed day. Every blessed day I wake up, I think about her. I wake up with her in mind. She's a wonderful person. I learned a lot from her. So many things. I can't even mention them because there are many. But my religion asks me to accept that as a fate. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant her Jannat al-Firdaus, and may He give us the fortitude to bear the loss. Thank you.
Okay, I've tried to film this 3 times, and well, the first 2 times I failed. So maybe it's because I've never really spoken about it. It's because I've only written about it. So let's see how this goes. So it's been 5 years, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. It still feels like it was yesterday because it's as painful as it was the first time I found out. So now, 5 years later, so a day before 3rd June 2012, I had a chat with her, and the last thing I told her was I love you. With the intention of if I woke up on 3rd June, I would have a fresh conversation with her. And I wake up to a message that said she was gone. I didn't believe it because it sounded like fiction. Like, why a plane crash? Why her? It sounded like fiction back then. And it still kind of sounds like fiction today. So I didn't believe it. I remember going through so many emotions, not being able to eat, not being able to accept it. It took me till I saw her body in August that same year. It took me that long to actually finally accept, like, okay, she's actually gone. Because I always wished that it was a nightmare that I was yet to wake up from. That I would open the door and she would be standing right there smiling back at me. For me, Farida was a role model. She was my everything. She's the only role model I've ever had or I will ever have. She is a dreamer. She was honest. She was caring. She was always there when you needed her. She was that friend, that sister, that person you could talk to about anything. And 5 years later, I feel like I've lost a part of me, a void that will never be filled up by anything on the planet or anyone on the planet. I have woken up time and time hoping that it wasn't real. I remember the last time I saw you was a week to my birthday that year, and every year for the majority of my life, you've been the first person to wish me happy birthday. So every birthday for the past 5 years, I've had a message missing. I've coped 5 years by putting on facades that I'm okay, and honestly, at this point, I think I'm not okay. To the person who came up with the saying, time heals all wounds, I feel like that person never really lost somebody they loved. Because time doesn't heal all wounds, it just teaches you how to cope with the pain, how to cope with that person. I'm not sure I fully learned how to cope with the pain because every time I think about you, it feels fresh, like it was the same day. Every time I think about you, I want it to be a nightmare that I would wake up from at some point. But I guess at this point, all I could do is pray for you. Hope that someday we meet. I have the memories to hold on to. And I can't wait to meet you in a Jannah Firdaus so I could fill you in on the memories you missed out of and we could create new memories. As of right now in my life, every achievement I get, from 2012 till date, every achievement I've achieved has been an achievement for both of us. not just me. So I will keep believing. I will never stop dreaming. And since you taught me never to give up, I will never give up. You are the biggest believer in me, and you taught me how to believe in myself at a very young age. So I miss you every day. I love you. I can't wait to meet you. May Allah brighten your grave. I know you're in a better place, so that's consolation, in a sense. May you continue to rest in perfect peace. And till the day we meet, Farida, I love you, and I will achieve as much as I can in my life for us, inshallah. I think I'm gonna stop filming here because I don't think I can film anymore. So the one I love, my sister, my friend, my role model, you're the biggest inspiration I will ever have. Words can express how much you mean to me. I love you. I miss you every day. I'll continue to pray for you, and may your soul rest in perfect peace. I can't wait for us to meet in Ajannah Firdaus. I love you, Farida. I always have, and I always will.
May Mama Farida's soul rest in perfect peace.
It's been 5 years since your demise. We really miss you, Farida. You were optimistic, you were passionate about everything in life. Intelligent lady, I must say. You were free with everybody. We really, really miss you. The day I got to find out about your demise, I was so devastated. I cried my eyes out. I couldn't believe it. Why? Why you? But we're not meant to question. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to lighten your grief every single day till we meet to part no more. May you continue to rest in perfect peace, and may Al-Jannah Firdaus be your final resting place. Amen.
I remember Farida as a very caring person, a very kind, a very generous person. She wasn't one to talk too much, but she really took her role as an elder sister very, very seriously. I remember her being extremely generous. Like, I remember so many gifts I had gotten from her, as well as my other siblings as well. I still remember the day I was told about her passing. It was a very sad moment. It still really is. She had such a great impact on many people, and that tells you so much about the life she had lived and the family she had come from. I pray for her nothing but Allah's nur, His blessings in her grave, His forgiveness, and the ultimate goal of Jannah Firdaus, inshallah.
The Farida I knew was quiet but not shy. Farida was a generous soul who always had a smile at her face. I can't recall a memory of Farida frowning, to be honest, I really can't. Farida had this outgoing nature. She had this elegance and charisma about her that I really, really loved. Overall, Farida is an amazing person, and my prayers for you, Farida, inshallah, I know you're in a better place, and may your soul continue to rest in Jannah Firdaus.
Assalamu alaikum, Farida, Baby F, FS, all her names, may her soul rest in peace. 5 years ago, this was a very hard time, very, very hard time. A news I couldn't accept. Allah knows why He took her so early in her life, in her prime. There were so many pleasant memories with Farida. She was a very nice friend, very honest friend, very reliable, funny. We miss her really greatly. I will just end this with a prayer. That's all I can do for Farida. May Allah forgive her mistakes, her errors, her sins, the one she knew, the one she didn't know. May Allah lighten up her grave. May Allah grant her soul eternal rest and peace. And may Allah join us again in Jannatul Firdaus. Amen.
Good day, my name is Hassan Usman. I was a colleague of Farida's. I was her CEO for many years at Asu Savings and Loans. It's a privilege to be asked to make a few comments regarding Farida's life, what sort of person she was. I worked with her. She didn't work directly with me. She worked with the boss, head of HR, but reporting to me, and I had a chance to have several interactions with her. And I remember very clearly Farida was a very dogged and very determined person with very clear ideas of what she wanted to do, and she wouldn't take no for an answer. She was a very committed, very passionate person. There were a few occasions when she had to come and make presentations before me. Her boss gave her that exposure to come and meet with the CEO and put your case on different things and so on. And I remember very distinctly, Farida would always come up and say, "Oh, CEO, I think we need to do X." And I would say, "No, I'm not convinced." And she would go back and come back again and come back again, and she was so persistent until she had her way. She would reframe the memo, she would make a case, "CEO, please listen to me. I believe what we're doing is right," etc., etc. So I was very, very impressed with that determination, with that attitude. If I could see her again, what would I say? I think what would linger on in my mind more than anything else is the last time that I saw her. I saw her last on June 1st, 2012. I had just returned from Lagos, from a trip to Lagos. I flew the same airline that crashed on the 3rd of June. I flew from Lagos to Abuja. And we had difficulties coming into land in Abuja, frankly. And all of us knew the plane had problems as we came into land, but we were fortunate enough, the plane landed safely. We all went out to our different ways. I got into the office on Friday morning, and I remember telling a few colleagues and some friends that I had a pretty nasty experience coming into land, and that the plane obviously had problems. Anyway, Later in the day, end of the day, Farida comes to see me. Over the years, I've become something of a mentor to Farida, and she'd come to me with all sorts of things. She'd talk to me about her career, talk to me about even her relationships, her suitors and the different strengths and so on and so forth, and what I thought she should do, etc. Anyway, she came to see me that afternoon, late in the afternoon, and I was extremely busy. I'd been away from the office for about a week or so. And she chose to wait for me. She waited close to about an hour to see me. It was late in the afternoon, probably about 5:56 or so, when we eventually had a chance to catch up. And she came to say to me, I'm off for a course in Lagos next week. I'll not be around. And I just came to inform you. And I thought that was very strange. I mean, she had never actually done that before, to come and wait and tell me she was off on a program. But anyway, and we chatted just small stuff. I wished her well. And as she was leaving, she had actually got to the door, and I called. I remember calling very clearly and saying, "Farida." She said, "Yes, sir." And I said, I meant to say to her, don't fly that airline. She had mentioned to me what airline she was flying, and I meant to say, don't fly that airline. But the last minute, I recoiled from that, and I just simply said, well, I wish you the very best. I'll like hanya, and see you when you come back from your program. And that was the last interaction. She said thank you, and she went off. And until the next thing we heard was on that Sunday afternoon when the crash occurred. For me, Farida was a really lovely person. She was a very dogged, very determined person, very sincere person as well, and very clear in her mind what she wanted to achieve. One of the things that stand out the most for me was when she went on to do her master's program in the UK. She'd worked with us in ASO for a few years, took time off to go and do a master's program, and came back with a master's degree, very well qualified, with lots of people who were giving her offers. And she had a chance to actually leave ASO and go into some other places where she could have had a much higher salary. I know of at least 2 other offers that she had that were paying a lot more than what her salary was at our place. And yeah, she came back. She came back because she said to me she thought she was in an environment where she could grow, where people respected her, and where her chances of career advancement were very high. It's a very big loss. It's a very big loss. I pray that Almighty Allah grants Farida al-Jannah Firdaus, and I pray that He grants the entire family the fortitude to bear her loss, because Farida was a lovely, lovely person. She was an A-class person. Allah jiganta, nisata huta lafiya.
Farida. It's 5 years already. It's been quite tough. Very sad. Really miss you. Been very, very sad. I wish. Like they say, we humans, we plan our things. God is the ultimate. He knows everybody's plan. Of course, we must all submit to His will. Farida was quite close to me. She has handed over to me on some of the roles in ASOS events. We worked together in the HR department. I took over from her in the learning and development. Farida is someone I know that one of the key things that I learned from her was, when you're doing things, always know what you're doing, so that when you are asked, you back up and you can easily defend your actions. She does this so well. I grabbed that from her. I'm sure a lot of people will attest to, how I've been able to grab a lot of, that action. This was one of the key traits that I really enjoyed, and learnt from her. Taken away from the office, Farida was a very close friend of mine. It's this local Hausa meal she always prepares for me. Dawake. I fell in love with Dawake so much that I will harass her until she brings it to the office, and I will, I can't forget her. Of course, I also notice she likes Amala and Ewedu. Sometimes I will prepare that and also, give to her. We do exchange of local meal. I'm Yoruba, she's a Hausa, Fulani, and of course, yeah. It's very sad. I remember very well I was planning for your wedding. Looking forward to it on how I'm going to visit Katina for the first time, which was meant to be for your wedding. Like I said earlier, we humans we plan, then God's will is always ultimate. God's plans for us. 5 years without you has been very difficult. The inflated flights, the Ghana Air, it's been very, very difficult. But all I can say is that I'm praying. So continue to rest in perfect peace. You are a very peace-loving person, while I'm not. So definitely, you are so rest in perfect absolute peace. Rest in peace, man. Really, really, really miss you.
I'm Zainab Jibril. I'm happy but sad to give out this tribute in honor of my dear friend Farida Shehu Kaikai, FS Kaikai, as we fondly call her. We friends, family, and housemates. She was an epitome of decorum, a beauty with brains, kindness and gentleness redefined, and wonderful to the core. We actually met at the university, that's in Zaria, back in 1999, when we became sisters till the day she breathed her last. Farida was always neat and gentle and beautiful soul. Continue to rest in perfect peace. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala heighten your resting place with Allah's nur, barakah and rahmah.
Hello. I really don't know what to say or how to feel, but then I would have to answer these questions for Farida. My favorite memory of Farida would be back then in secondary school when we go on holidays. How we would spend the whole holidays like talking on phone. We could call each other like 20 times a day. We would gossip, we would talk about so many things. I have so many beautiful memories of Farida, but this particular one, anytime I remember, I just like laugh because we'd gossip about so many people. We had nicknames for so many seniors and so many people. Farida and I became friends when she came on transfer, and I think that was like in our second year in secondary school. And I also came on transfer, and like automatically we became friends because she was such a sweet person, and she was a very kind soul. and our friendship blossomed and lasted till after secondary school, even when we got to Ibu area together, and after university, when she went to the UK, I was also in the UK at the time, we would talk and all that. It's so unbelievable. Like, it's been 5 years gone, like 5 years. It's been a while. Like, so many times I go on Facebook, I go on her page, I read the last message she sent to me inviting me over for Miriam's twins, I think the twins' birthday or so. That was like a couple of years before her death. And I go on her page and I look at her picture. Sometimes I would blank out, like staring at her picture. It's so unbelievable that good people really don't last. And honestly, I miss Farida like badly. What I miss about Farida the most is like she tried to reach out. She was the kind of person who wanted to bring all her secondary and university friends together. Like she would push, and she would always call people and like, you guys, let's get together, we need to have a reunion. I would miss so many things. I really miss so many things about her. Like, she was a kind person. She was a friend you could call when you were like in need of something or when you're going through things, and she would talk to you and all. Farida taught me how to be kind. Like, she was so selfless. She would go out of her way to do things for people. She Farida left like a mark in all the lives she came across. She not only mine, but like if you talk to people who she's interacted with in the course of living on this earth, you will hear the same thing. I have so many so many memories of her. Very wonderful memories, definitely. I can't really pinpoint anyone because to me, I hold every memory I had with Farida dearly. How I have coped with her 5 years now. Looking at her pictures, like reading through her messages, which I never deleted from my phone, and just knowing that because she was such a wonderful, devoted person religiously, she was devoted, like she was a devoted friend, family-wise, like she took very good care of her younger ones. Like, Farida was like a complete package, like a friend that anyone would really want to have. And of course, 5 years without her has not been easy. Like, so many things have happened. I know that if she was alive now, she could have been married, like she would have had kids, and her kids would have been friends. Like, well, God knows best, but 5 years with her has been horrible. But we have God to always console us, and we know that she's like happy wherever she. What I wish I would have told Farida. I remember we lost contact like the last few I think the last year or so, and I remember Farida's dad and my dad went to Beriwa College together, and one of the Beriwa College meetings they had, she sent her phone number through her dad to give my dad, and my dad gave me the number. I procrastinated calling Farida. I was going to call her. Every time I would look at the paper, I was like, oh, I had to call Farida. But I never did. And that's one thing I really regret today, because when I heard that Farida was on that Dana plane, my heart was broken. The only thing that came to play was like, I should have called her. I should have spoken to her. But I never did. And I still have that paper where she wrote the number up till today. I put it somewhere, and we never can take back like the hands of time, but one thing I surely know and was that Farida was one of my best friends, like someone I could confide in. She was such a selfless person, a very sweet soul. She was funny. I remember all the gists will go on and on and on and on for hours. Only God knows how much our parents would pay for telephone bills at that time. There was no GSM at that time. So this is my short interview about Farida, and I honestly do miss her. Myself and so many of our friends, we always remember her in our secondary school group chats. Farida, I miss you so much. Keep resting, dear, and just know that you're missed here on earth. I love you. Bye.
My name is Aisha. Been 5 years, Farida Kaikai passed on, and it's not been easy without her, without FS. Favorite memories I have of Farida are numerous. The space can't take it all. But the favorite ones, let me pick. Was when we were in school. We had to stay back and take one major exam again. We were reading together, go to classes together, take extra lectures together, tutorials together, and we planned to sit together for the exam. She took some parts, studied it so hard. Took some parts, studied it so hard, and we were supposed to sit together and help each other. But on the line, it wasn't easy doing that. She tried to talk to me in the exam hall. The invigilator came around several times and says, "Okay, stop talking to each other, stop talking to each other." And at the point, I think he had it to hear, like, you guys have to go separate ways. And he said, "Farida, submit your paper. I think you submit your papers." She wasn't through with the exam. And Farida stood up and did the unexpected. Came to me and said, "Hey, child, this is the formula to that question. You could finish up. If I fail, you don't fail. We don't have to fail together." And the exam officer was moved by there. He said, "You could sit and finish up your exams." And she sat back and she finished, and I also finished mine. We passed and graduated. That was really touching. She was going to risk it for me. We clicked in our final year majorly. I think we were friends, classmates. We were not shared our clique, I had mine, and we just say hi. The final year, she sent me like, "I like your pants. Can you get me this when you come from Lagos? I kept your size. I'll get you." And that was it. We posted to Abuja together, and that was another one. I was in camp. She was at Lake Camp. I stayed in camp, and I was fitting out with what was happening with camp and what we had to do or we didn't have to do. So we're communicating well while I was in NYC camp. And when we finish the rotation camp, where my mom planned I should stay, didn't work out. And I remember that night, the middle of the night, I called Farida, like, "I think I'm going to have an accommodation problem because I can't stay here." And she said, "Okay, we'll talk about it tomorrow. That's silly. You'll not be able to stay there." And the next morning, she spoke with Antuma Hutan. And Antuma Hutan's mom came to my rescue. took me up as a daughter, put me in. I stayed like months in the house and treated me like family. I had a family. Through Farida, I had a family with another family. Mountain's family. 5 years without Farida is like endless. I thought it was going to be possible, but I'm here. Truthfulness is the favorite traits of Farida. I can remember. She told me the truth. Like, no matter how it is, like, take it or leave it. That is how it is. It is blue, it's blue. It's black, it's black. Don't mind words. She was my sister. I had a sister in her. We shared a lot of memories together. Things I can't say here. I hold them so dear. Share me no one. No, not share it. We did together. A lot of memories together. A lot of business plans together. She was going to take the kitchen side of Deco with Classic. She said, just do the Deco, I'll do the kitchen utensil side. Then we share, do partners in this business. I said, okay, no problem. We'll do that. And guess what? Your space is there for your kitchen utensils, Farida. Yes, I'm doing the Deco. You're taking the kitchen side. She taught me to be truthful. Farida taught me that do what makes you happy. You don't have to please no one. Don't force it. If it's not working, just leave it. Those are words. I miss my friend. Have you cooked? Cooking. Wish I could tell Farida. I married the man she advised me to marry. She saw the niceness in him. I wasn't saying it, just saying like a normal guy. But she was right. He's a nice person. He's been there for me. And guess what? We have a son. It's fine. I'll tell him about you. I'm waiting for the girl. That's going to be your namesake. I pray, inshallah. Well, this is my fate video. I try not to cry here. Because Farida died like a heroine. If she had died later, I don't think our memories would be that celebrated. I miss you so much, my friend, my sister. And I know you're resting in the Jannah Firdaus. Wish you bye.
Hi, my name is Tola Adike Oyebanji. how I became friends with FSK, Farida Shehu Kaikai. FS was in a class ahead of mine, and we became friends under a very weird situation. It all started sometime in my GS2, I think, when a joke turned out to be reality. My classmates and I were just having fun nicknaming some of our seniors, and for some reason I just decided to mock FS. So I called her Wire Legs, just because she was very skinny, catwalked all the time, and had a pair of nice moccasins, or will I say boots. Well, note, I probably was skinnier than FS at that point, but of course I didn't see that. And well, anyways, words got out of the dormitory, and seniors being nicknamed got wind of the gist. One thing led to another, and I found myself wanted. As soon as I was sent for, I knew I was in trouble, so my stomach just dropped. I thought I was dead, it was finished. Well, without a word, I got there, I knelt down with the other people, some of my other classmates were already kneeling down. I got there. And then FS just walked in and told me to get up, follow her. She just said, follow me. And I followed her. Gradually we walked down towards the classroom area, and we were quiet, we didn't talk. And then she just asked me, I remember turning back to look at her face, and she just looked at me and she asked me what I had to say for myself. I looked at her and I apologized. I said I was sorry and it was never going to happen again. And the next question she asked me threw me off balance. She just asked and said, what are your hobbies? And I was shocked, so I kept mute because maybe I wasn't really sure what I had heard under such a situation. And she looked at me this time around with a smile on her face. She said, what do you love doing aside giving people names? And that was how it all started. We said, talking about our dislikes, our likes. You know, that was the beginning of great, genuine friendship. We grew very close and spent most of our weekend nights or evenings together, gisting, singing, eating, and just having fun. She loved writing, so she always had songs, poems, all written for me. And that's basically how we became friends. Our favorite memories of Farida Shehu Kaikai. Wow, I have a lot. And I'll just talk about a few. I think shortly after FS and I became friends, we went on an excursion organized by the Harias Club, where we took off from Zaria to Kano, to Gusau, Abuja, and then back to FGC Zaria. And on that trip, I had the fun of my life, as FS and I were together, and she really took care of me. I remember when we got to Abuja, we stayed over at her friend's house, I think Aisha here. It was a very good experience. And I think great memories. I will say all the nights we spent making gist in class and strolling around, singing songs by Whitney Houston. She was a great fan of Whitney Houston. And all the notes we both shared. Like I said earlier, she loved to write, so I don't remember a day or every other day or every other week without getting a note from FS checking on me. There were nights FS would get suya for us to eat as a perfect evening. We just used to gist, sing like I said earlier. And she was also a prefect, so I would say whenever FS was on duty as a prefect, I wouldn't even bother going near the dining area, as she would do a special package and send to me. I particularly remember one funny Saturday evening at about 9:30 p.m. FS and I were together at a former typing pool area, typing pool class or office close to the SS1 block in school then. And since we couldn't get a bowl of ice cream, I don't know where FS got it from, but FS got a big can of condensed milk, and we scooped the whole can, sharing just one spoon together. The hangout was awesome. By the next morning, FS sent a note to ask if I was okay, and I remember I replied her telling her, yeah, I was okay, no zawo, like I wasn't purging, but lots of tusa, like I was, tusa, like a scared fighting because it was milk. I also remember FS being very generous, like she gave me lots of gifts. I remember she gave me a teddy bear. It was more of a small puppy. It was gray and white in color, and I called it Lena. Well, I called FS, or rather I addressed her with many pet names such as FS, General, SH, well, she formed it, and so we were fond of calling ourselves SH, such as Sweethearts was the best buddies. Lena was another nickname, 123 Kid, and a couple of others. Those are the names she really liked. I remember she also gave me a glass cup with a gold plated handle. I used it to decorate my room for several years. And sometimes she gave me cakes, birthday cakes, all those things, cards, etc. But the best gift I ever got was a scrapbook. It's a book that I will always keep for the rest of my life. In secondary school, graduating students give their friends slum books, scrapbooks to fill, but the reverse was the case in our friendship. I was sick around the time she graduated, so I was at home, and FS made sure she checked on me before going home after graduation. And she dropped a book for me where she wrote a whole book. She said it was a parting gift. The book of poems, songs, food for thought, just ways, some really, really cool things. Unfortunately, I don't have it here, but more updates later. It was a very good book with so many songs. As a teenager, we were friends, and I would say we shared lots of little tiny secrets. She always got my back. She was a very loyal, honest person, firm, quite disciplined. She was genuine and saw the good in me always. I can go on and on and on and on again. I remember her telling me that I had very beautiful fingers and I looked like someone that could draw. So I should think of becoming an architect or an engineer or something. But I said no, I would like to be a chemical engineer since I loved chemistry. I didn't even get to do technical drawing TD my junior secondary school. But after several years, I'm now an architect. Also, as a Muslim, FS was a Muslim, of course. As a Muslim, she would still ask me if I was able to make it to choir practices that we had every Friday night, church services and Sundays, and she was always there. She always just watched over me. Yeah, she always did. Things I learned from our rather FS taught me. FS taught me how to love, care for people, regardless of the background, religion, wow. Looks, and she was selfless. She was generous, she was adorable. In fact, my ways of bringing quarrels was to pronounce her state. She was from Katsina, so I will say Katsina, and then I will argue that I was Yoruba, and that's the way I could pronounce it. And then she will say, "What does that matter? What does it matter? You were born and bred here in the north, so that's not an excuse, and you're just looking for trouble." What I miss most about her is her beautiful face, the beautiful smile on her very sweet face, her unique voice, and the great friendship we shared. Okay, how have I coped for the past 5 years? Wow. It's been very hard, I must confess. And well, after her days as in ABU days, because we both studied in ABU, I lost touch with FS as she went to UK and just got busy, and she respected the fact that I was in Facebook, etc. Fast forward to 2011, precisely November 16th, 2011, on her birthday, which also happens to be the same date as that of my mother-in-law's birthday. So apparently they were birthday mates, you know. I saw her picture displayed with my friend and colleague, also from Katsina State, Rahama Bello, and I screamed and quickly buzzed her. And that was how FS and I reconnected. We had a lot to talk about, a lot to catch up on, and I remember putting up her pictures electronically. You know, FS loves pictures, and she had beautiful ones. I still have some of her pictures from secondary school and all that she gave to me, and even ABU. Well, we planned on meeting up to talk and to catch up some more. We're to meet on the 19th of May 2012 at my brother's wedding in Abuja. But she also had a wedding around that time in Lagos, and so we couldn't meet. And she told me she was going to see me some other time in Lagos. We just, the usual thing, just take things for granted. So yeah, we'll see, because my mother's dream, I never thought anything coming up. The last chat we had was a few days before she left forever. I wish we met at that time. I wish she said goodbye. And I also wish I made up time to visit her in Abuja. On the 3rd of June 2012, I recall seeing a DM update from Wemisola. Something like, she said, she wrote something like, FS, please, where are you? And for some reason, my stomach just dropped. I buzzed Wemi immediately. She said she wasn't certain, but FS probably was on a flight to Lagos, and it looked like it was the Dana plane that had just crashed. And I quickly tried tried to call FS on her phone, but it wasn't available. I called my friend Aisha almost immediately, or rather after a few minutes, and I just poured it all out. Oh, it was crazy. It's still crazy. I wish I could tell her there's just no doubt about it. She really has, or she really has a touch for making others happy, because she made me very happy. And I wish I could see her to thank her very much, just to say thank you so much for being a part of my life, and always know your memories live on forever, and I'll always miss her forever.
Assalamu alaikum, my dear sister Farida. I miss you, I love you. I know inshallah you're in a better place. I hope we're neighbors in Jannah. Inshallah. Miss you and love you.
Farida mutum ne kirki ce. Tana da sanannen son mutane ga kirki kan jama'a. Kowa ita nata ne ba ta da Allah ya ji kanta da hama, Allah ya ba mu gurin tashe ta. Abin da za mu ce mutuwa Farida sai ce Allah ya ji kanta. Allah shi kyauta ƙarshen mu.
Yarinya ce ta kirki mai hali, mai mutunci, mai girmama mutane. Ina son Farida ta tafi ta bani. Allah ya ji kanta ya gafarta mata, halinta na gari ya bi ta. Allah ya sa tana aljanna Firdaus. Allah ya kai ta wuri mai kyau, ya kai mu tare da ni da ita. Allah ya haɗa mu aljanna Firdaus. Allah ya sa tana da rabon gadawa da uwarta da ubanta a aljanna Firdaus. Allah ya haɗa ta da danginta duka na musulunci. Allah ya ji kanta ya gafarta mata. Tahiyya ta taimamu ciwo don ba yanda za mu yi. Allah na so muna son ta. Shi yasa dole mai haƙuri. Shi kenan.
Assalamu alaikum. Allah ya ji kan Farida. Allah ya sa aljanna makoma. Muna misa ɗinta, especially na wajen birthdays nan take turo wa mutane happy birthday da sauransu. Allah ya mata rahama, Allah ya sa aljanna makoma, Allah ya ba mu guzurin tadda ta. Allah ya ji kanta.
Shirya. Yarinya kirki, Allah ji kanta, Allah ya gafarta mata, Allah ya sanya kabarin ta. Yarinya ta san mutunci mutane ta, gida mutane da mutunci. Wannan for that I know, but then nobody can take it away from her.
Assalamu alaikum. Yau Farida ta cika shekara 5 da rasuwa. Ya Allah ya ji kanta ya gafarta mata. Halinta na gari ya bi ta. Farida ce mai hali, mai kirki, mai biyayya, mai gaisuwa. Ba abun da za mu ci sai mu ce Allah ya sa mu haɗu a aljanna Firdausi tare da ita. Ko ba haka ba? Allah ya ji kanta ya gafarta mata, ya rahamshe ta, kuma ya sa mu cika da imani.
Allah ya rahamshe ta, sa aljanna Firdausi ce mu komanta. Gaskiya mai misan Farida kwarai da gaske. Na yi misan fara'arta, smiling face nata, da kulawarta, da ita ke kira na ina misan ɗinta. Da in ne birthday, she will be one of the first ita ke fara kira na taimakon wishing ina happy birthday. I really miss wannan ne. So kuma irin tana kira na shawara. Takan ba kira ni in ba ta shawara. To ina misin wannan ma gaskiya a lot. To sai kuma irin ita Farida irin what da memory da ba ta manta ba. Her last birthday a gidana ta yi shi. Ta yi sallah a gidana. ta yi birthday a gidana, ta yi mana fried rice da lima cake muka ci muka abin nan. To kuma wanting da na zama so abin nan da ita. All along ina ganin Farida kawai irin yadda na san 'yan mata ba damuwa suka yi da ibada ba. But there is one thing about her. Ta kwana gidana kwana ta yi ibada kiyamar laili. I was so surprised. Gaskiya na ganta da wannan hali. Irin ban tsammani bai da zamanin da zaka ga irin yarinya ta zama so devoted to ibada haka. I was surprised gaskiya a lokacin da ganta tana ibada sosai mako. Dan ibada take komo matan auren ma da ba kowa zai iya haka ba gaskiya. Na yi mamaki kwarai da gaske. To she will not even have the time to wannan amma ina gaskiya tana da wannan addini tana da ibada. Gafara. Gashi so friendly da yara lokacin ta ibada nan kowa da kowa da su abubuwa ta babba da ta yi komai da komai haka duka muka ji daɗi. Na kai sallah tare. To wannan memory din har yanzu yana raina it will last forever. Ubangiji Allah ya cikanta da gafara, Allah ya rahamshe ta. Gaskiya we really miss her. Allah ya kyauta karshen mu kuma.
My name is Ghazali Lord Kaikai. They mark the 5th year, right? That we lost our beloved auntie, Auntie Farida. It's not easy to cope with the loss of a beloved auntie. So we pray, may Almighty Allah grant her alternative Firdaus, and may Almighty Allah give us strength to bear the loss. So may her soul rest in perfect peace.
I miss you so much, Farida. I wish you were here. Miss you, Farida. I wish you were here.
Every morning when I wake up, what I hear is you calling me. On my mind is how I want you, how I miss you, wanna see you. My life I'll give for what I want, you're what I need. Your voice, your touch is everything. The joy you'll bring, never take for granted. For granted, for granted. Never ever take no for granted. For granted, for granted. I would do anything to be with you, be with you.
I'd like to thank everyone for sending all these kind messages and also sending videos. I really appreciate that. I know it's not easy doing any of that. It's pretty intense to be in front of the camera. Farida, may your soul continue to rest in peace, and may Jannatul Firdaus be your final abode. I've reached out to a couple of charities, so if anyone wants to give sadaqah or make donation to feed a family during the month of Ramadan in honor of the deceased, feel free to send me a message or send me an email. I'll put the email here on the screen and I'll send you the detail. Thank you so much. May God reward you. Thank you.
Now, never need emotions to free now. You in the bad place. For granted, for granted, for granted. Never ever take no for granted, for granted, for granted. I would do anything to